What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the 5-step method that I use to do product research on Amazon in 2019. Now, these are the steps I personally use, and that has helped me find multiple $1,000 plus products a month when it comes to Amazon selling. So let's just jump right into this. So I'm going to be analyzing this product right here, which is a slime kit, and showing you the 5 steps I use to go through and see if a product is a winner, if it's a loser, or if it's kind of in between, if it has some potential. So step number 1. Now, I combined 2 things because this is very obvious. The first is sales. The second is competition. First thing we need to look at is the sales for the product. Now, obviously, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, so we're going to look at sales. Now, how can we do that? Well, like I said, I'm going to be using a tool. It is called AMZ Scout. I will leave a link to it in the description if you guys are interested, but that's what I'm going to be using. You can use other tools. So all I do is just click this up here, and it will pull up all of the numbers, including the sales for all the products under this certain keyword. And I will look at the sales here. And what I'm looking for when I look at the sales is, 1, I want to see consistency, and I want to make sure that there's enough sales for me to enter this market, or enter just this product's market, not even the whole niche, and be able to capture some of those sales organically from Amazon. Now, how would I do that? I do that by ranking my products. So what I normally look at is I'll look at the first page, maybe the first 12 to 15 listings. And this is going to depend on what your goal is. So let's say my goal, I want to make $2,000 of profit a month. And let's say my product is a $10 profit margin. So if I'm making $10 profit per sale, I need to sell 5 units a day, 6 units a day, and I will make $2,000 a month in profit. So I want to see, let's say my goal is 6 sales a day, which is very low, or $2,000 profit a month. I'm looking at the estimated sales here, which are pretty accurate. And these are monthly. So we're seeing this guy right here is getting 389 sales a month, 1,300, 2,400, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, etc. And we see that it is pretty consistent all the way down. We see one with a little bit lower sales, 92. It doesn't really meet our criteria, but that is just one of the products in the top 11 that is under even 400. This is the next lowest one. So the sales on this product are high enough, they are consistent enough, and go down page 1 far enough where even if we don't rank our product in the top, say, 5, so instead of maybe getting 1,000 sales here, if we're in the top 5, we might rank it down here and still be getting 300, 400, 500 sales. So that is a positive. That looks good on this product. Now, the next part of step 1 is the reviews. So reviews are how you gauge competition on Amazon, and you can do that, again, through this tool here, or you can just scroll through the Amazon page and look at the different reviews. So these 2 listings right here are sponsored, which means they're paying to be there, and we just want to look at organic traffic. We don't care if they're ranked there because they're paying to be there, if that makes sense. So we just care about organic, so we skip the 2 sponsored posts, and we'll start right here, and we look and we see reviews: 180, 122, 3,000, 167, 133. And like I said, you can look in the extension too, and it'll show you the reviews. So right here, we can see all of the different reviews, and even kind of the average reviews here are 260. Now, what we're looking for here, again, it will depend partly on your goal. If we're trying to rank, we don't necessarily need the same amount of reviews to sell well. And a perfect example of that is look at the kind of top 4. They are ranked above this one with 3,600 reviews, and some of them have 24, 45. Getting a ton amount of reviews is not the problem here. We're not trying to match the reviews. Now, does that play into people choosing their product because there is more kind of rapport there? Yes. But what we're looking at with high sales and high reviews is it's very difficult to rank your product because you do need to match, 1, their sales velocity. So if they're selling 100 units a day, or 3,000 units a month, which is a ton, you would have to match that because that is the main driving factor when it comes to Amazon, and ranking is, are you matching their sales? Now, things like price, reviews, average review, star rating, how long you've been selling it, etc., play into it, conversion rate. But the main thing is that. So when you see someone with a huge amount of reviews and high sales, it means usually they've been getting a high amount of sales for a long period of time. So Amazon's algorithm almost has them stuck there because they've been there for so long. They get so many sales. They have so many reviews. That is something you really want to look for. And kind of like the sales thing, I look at really the top 12, 15 products and I say, okay, what is too many reviews? And I usually use 75 or 100 reviews as kind of my guideline. I want to see lower than 75 reviews for the majority of the first 12 or 15 listings. And that will kind of show me the competition. So that is step one. I combined those two so I could go over them quickly. It wasn't as quick as I thought. But the next thing we want to look at is the sales trend. Now, you can do that on this tool. You can do that on a website called Camel. It'll kind of look the same, but up here, I'm going to look at the sales trend. You can see it right here. And what I'm looking for here is I want to make sure these sales are consistent for this product's keyword. So Slime Kit, what are the sales that are coming from the products on this page and what have they been in the past? So this shows all of that data because we don't want a seasonal product. We don't want something that only sells for 3 months of the year. And we don't want something that's on the downtrend. So we can see right here, the sales for the last 30 days have been pretty consistent. Now keep in mind, January, this is the end of Christmas, so you would expect a little downturn here, but it kind of popped right back up, and this looks pretty good. It looks pretty even and consistent. Now, one thing we can do as well, so this is the sales history when it comes to Amazon. If I go down here and I click on trends, this will pull up Google Trends, so the amount of search volume for this product over time. So this is the past 5 years, and obviously slime kits became very popular in 2017. We can see this big spike here, but then they kind of fell off in 2018, kind of stayed consistent. They had another spike, which I assume was Christmas. Are both of these Christmas? So they're both Christmas, so if we skip the Christmas lines, you can kind of see it's pretty consistent right here. It is a little bit of a lower trend, not as much search volume as I'd hope, but it does seem pretty consistent. Again, these are spikes because of Christmas. It is a big gifted product. So that is why we see that. But if you just skip those, like I said, it looks pretty consistent along the way. So no red flags there. And the sales trend, like I said here, looks fine as well. And looks like it's actually on the uptick right here. So that is step 2, making sure it is still trending upwards. Now, a lot of products aren't trends. Something like this is kind of a trend. It's not something that's a necessity that people need. So these typically aren't the type of products I do because they are fads or trends, but you can capitalize on them if you wish to. There is a lot of money to be made with trends. It's not what I like to base my business off of though. So the next thing we are going to be looking at is the brand. So is it brand dominated? And now what does that mean? That means, do you see one seller capturing multiple of the real estate in the top listings? You look at Amazon's first page. Let me show you guys an example here. I look at Amazon's first page. These two guys are paying to be here. How many listings do we see on the first page? We'll say 3, 5, 10. We'll say 12 listings until we get this little break here. So you see 12 listings. Well, what if one seller has 4 of those? They're taking up a lot of that space. And what does that normally mean? If you see a seller that has multiple listings ranked highly, it usually means they are known in that niche. The word I'm looking for is brand loyal. So they're kind of brand loyal to that brand, or they're known in that specific niche for having high quality products or whatever, which is why they're ranked highly. And you will see that. So that is one thing we want to look out for. We don't want to see a ton of repeat brands on the first page. So we'll just look at the top 12. So Slime Master, do I see them again? No. Do I see any repeats at all, actually? Elmer's. So Elmer's right here, number 9, and Elmer's right here, number 5. Now that brings me to the next part of step 3, which is big name brands. Big name brands like Elmer's, they're giant. People know them. They have a huge reputation. So if you're gonna go buy the same exact product and it's from a random seller or Elmer's, which are you gonna buy from? Well, you feel like you know Elmer's. They're gonna get that brand loyalty and just brand recognition, and people are gonna buy from them over it. So you don't want a big brand selling in the top or being near the top. Now, if they have one listing, it's normally fine. Something like this, their listings, I believe, are pretty bad. Let me just check here and show you guys what I mean. Their listings are pretty bad. They have a ton of sales because they are Elmer's. And they can afford to run a ton of ads and probably will outrank you. Again, they have tons of different variations here too. So that is not something you normally want to compete against. If they have one listing, that's usually fine. But it will be difficult to compete with them again. And I just noticed they have a third listing down here. It's not a big deal, but that is something to just watch out for. Now, step number 4, probably one of the most important steps. Is the product profitable? It doesn't matter how good the numbers are. If you can't make profit off of it, it is not worth it. So how do we know if it's profitable? Well, what you can do under this tool, you click on a listing and I can go to Profit Calculator. I can pull this up. And again, if you're not using this tool, you can go to Amazon FBA Calc and it'll pull up something similar. You can plug those numbers in and get it just like this. So the product price, it just pulls from there. So they're selling for $26.99. Now, the product cost. How do we know how much the product cost is? Well, let's go look for it on Alibaba. So I can just click this button over here. It'll take me to Alibaba, which is where we find suppliers. And this is how we'll gauge how much a certain product costs. So we'll type in slime kit. Now, it's searched by picture, but we're going to just search by slime kit. So if we're selling a slime kit, and now we do want to make sure it is similar to other listings, so how much stuff they have here. If they are selling at this price, and $26.90 does look like a high price actually for this market in a whole. Maybe we'll put our price at $19.99 just to see. And we'll say, let's find one that looks good here. So this one looks pretty equivalent to what we've seen right here. So $3.99 to $5.99, we'll just put in our cost is $4.50, just be somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna pull up this tool again and let me choose one that is more appropriate price. We'll go $23.90. Profit calculator, and we said our product cost is $4.50. Now additional costs, we don't have any here. Product weight and product size, it pulls directly from Amazon, and this is what is used to calculate the Amazon FBA fulfillment fees, which is just Amazon sending, storing, packing, and shipping out your product when people order it. So we plug these numbers in, and it will show us our monthly storage fee is 11 cents. Our pick and pack fee, which is that Amazon FBA fee, is $5 because it is a little bit heavier of a product. And our referral fee is $3.59, which is just 15% of the sale price, 12% in some categories. So we see our total FBA fees are $8.79 from these two right here. And our profit per unit is $10.61. So each unit we sell, we are getting $10.61 of profit plus our initial investment of $4.50 per unit. So if that makes sense, we're being paid back about $15, $10.61 of which is profit. And you can see the margin is 44%, which is pretty good. Usually my products are around 35 to 50% depending. And you can see your ROI is 235%. So with the sales based off this category, if you can rank up here around number 3, it says you will make profit of about $14,000 a month. Now, not bad for buying a product that costs $4.50. So that is how we determine if a product is profitable. Now, messaging suppliers would be the way to do it. It's easier to do that way. Don't have time in this video, obviously, but that is how you get an exact price, and you can negotiate. That's without negotiating the price at all and just taking what is displayed as the sale price. So step number 5 is to differentiate yourself. Now, this is a huge one, and I see so many people not doing this when this is one of the biggest factors. So this product might not be a perfect example, but how many of these listings look the exact same? You have the slime, you have the little add-ons, etc. But it probably just started as just the slime. People were selling just the slime by itself, and I bet you if I scroll down, I'll find a couple listings that have that because they got outranked by these people bundling. So just the slime here, slime kit, kind of just the slime, some bundled, but what you can see is this is a more mature niche, and with this, people start to differentiate themselves. So what do I mean by that? How can you stand out from your competition? So I'll use this guy as an example. He has his slime here. He has foam balls, he has water beads, he has decorations, glitter jars, and tools with it. Now, what about this person? They went for the higher quantity. They're selling a lot more things with it at a lower price. Now, they probably are making almost no profit here, but they're probably trying to rank their product and then they'll up their price. So how can you stand out? A couple good ways you can use to stand out is one, bundling your product, which is seen here a lot. Bundling it with small little add-on items. So let's say they spend $4 per unit on a product. How much do you think it costs them to add foam beads and maybe some tools? Not even $1, maybe 50, 70 cents per unit. Well, if I'm adding all those things, do you think I can bump up my price by more than $1? I'd say yes. Perfect example. I bought something that cost me 30 cents a unit and put it on as a free gift for my product, and I charged $6.99 higher than my competition and outsold them and outranked them because I differentiated myself. My listing was done better, and I had that little add-on item, and it just looked like a higher quality product in general. So can you change something? How can you stand out? Is it going to be your listing alone that stands out? Are you solving a problem? If you see people complaining, oh, this slime stains, you can go in and look at people's reviews on their products, look at the negative ones, and see what's common throughout that product's niche and say, okay, a lot of people are complaining about the slime staining clothes or furniture. I'm going to fix that. So you talk to suppliers, find one that maybe doesn't stain clothes, and market towards that heavily on your listing, and even do advertising on Amazon for that. So those are the 5 steps I personally use when it comes to finding profitable products on Amazon and kind of how to analyze them. If you guys want to learn how you can build your own profitable Amazon business, there will be a link in the description to a free little mini training course that I put together for you guys. You can go through it. It'll teach you everything. It's completely free, no strings attached. So you can grab that. That will be the second link in the description. The first link will be to the tool I was using. Make sure you guys look below for both those things. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.